An anti-Brexit group has attracted fury after sharing a study saying areas that voted to leave the EU have more deaths from COVID-19. Research by Ludovic Philippou of the University of Oxford and Betty H.T. Wu of the University of Glasgow appears to show a direct correlation between Brexit voting districts of the UK and those that have the highest rate of fatalities from COVID-19. According to the research, the boroughs of Boston, Great Yarmouth, South Holland, and Hartlepool, for example, have the fourth highest fatalities from the virus in the UK and the biggest share of the vote for Brexit, with all four districts voting more than 75% for leave in 2016. By contrast, the 20 boroughs with the lowest death rates all voted heavily for Remain. Sharing the data, campaign group Best for Britain, which describes itself as a cross-party advocacy group upholding internationalist values, said that the correlation is striking. They tweeted, "Brexit voting areas of UK have highest COVID-19 death rate, study finds." All usual caveats about correlation not being causation apply, of course. But the correlation really is quite striking. But The Sun's political editor Harry Cole hit out at the research, calling it bottom-feeder analysis, claiming the authors can't see how grim and stupid this looks. Writing on Twitter, he said, "Bottom-feeder analysis. They are driven so mad by Brexit they can't see how grim and stupid this looks/is." Once credible people associated with BFB, Best for Britain, should cut ties from this clown school. Other Twitter users agreed, with one, Dylan, writing, "My God, you've dropped the ball on this one, folks. Lordy." Another, Sawa Stuffy, wrote, "We have known that the virus has been disproportionately killing the elderly and the poor for a while, but thanks for putting a nice Brexit wife filter on it, didn't know I needed it." A third, Ganesh, wrote, "Definitely a correlation between people who make posts like this and being an absolute bore." FYI, and this really has no relevance at all. 5 years after the vote, I voted Remain. While Mike called it total nonsense. A spokesperson for Best for Britain said, "This research, released by the University of Oxford, was incorrectly represented by an anonymous Twitter account as being published by Best for Britain. They have since deleted their tweet." We draw no conclusions from this data, but continue to campaign for improvements to the government's Brexit deal and pandemic response, which continues to fail these areas. The authors of the study claimed that those who were swayed by the arguments for Brexit were also more likely to reject COVID safety measures, such as vaccination or mask wearing. Speaking to Euronews, one author, Mr. Philippou, said, "There is a group of people in the population who just rejects any official advice, any mainstream advice, any expert advice." The question then becomes for researchers, how do you capture these people? How do you have a proxy for these people? Which areas have more of these people? However, Matt Warman, Conservative MP for Boston and Skegness, told Euronews that the high death toll in his district was likely due to a range of factors, including its relatively large elderly population. The two authors of the study said that it should have very important consequences for policy, arguing that it called into question initiatives such as mandatory vaccination, as many of those that do not want to get vaccinated already distrust both pharmaceutical companies and politicians.